Hey guys, in this video I'm going to demonstrate how to do blade speeding and speed ramping in Final Cut Pro. Alright, so now we're going to jump over to this project that I believe I edited yesterday or the day before. And this was an aerial video. If you've watched my edits before, you've probably seen that I'm a pretty big fan of blade speeding. In this particular video, we had several different clips of blade speeding from the beginning to the end. I think it just does what it does is it helps to keep the video engaging. Sometimes you want to showcase all the views, but maybe that clip is 15 or it could be up to 20 seconds long, but you need to shorten that to keep the viewership of the video. So it's a great way to kind of keep the video moving along while still showcasing what you were trying to show with that particular clip. Now I'm going to go to my original project here where it has the unedited clips here. And I'm just going to demonstrate how to do blade speeding in case you didn't watch my editing videos and you just wanted to go here to see how to blade speed. Let me zoom out a little bit. So I'm just going to take a random clip. So say this one right here, it's currently 17 seconds long, and I'm just going to watch it. All right. When it starts to get boring, that's when I start to get disengaged with it, or like, all right, that's enough. 1, 2. It's usually around 3 seconds. Then I'll hold down Shift and hit the B key, and that'll start a cut where we can turn it into a blade speed. And then we'll go to the end. Usually I'll give a trail off of a few seconds. So we'll just put the marker there and then hold down Shift and hit B again. Then you'll grab this little line right here and bring it to the left. Now by default, it's not gonna make it too fast. Usually I like it a little bit faster than 400%. You see how it's just not fast enough? So then you can just click on it. You can up the rate. Let's do 1600%. Here, we'll let it render out a second here so we can actually see it. But I'll also talk about these ramp up. So basically this is the default ramping system, and not necessarily the system, just the duration that Final Cut puts on blade speeds, which I actually think it's appropriate for real estate photography. I usually don't adjust them too much, but if you want to, you can make them shorter. But that being said, when you transition from fast to slow, it's going to be pretty drastic. So when you have the ramping like here, it kind of gradually goes into it. It gradually goes in, but when it comes out, it's very harsh, I guess you would say, from a transition perspective. So I usually leave the ramping system to default Final Cut Pro settings. Now, about speed ramping, I believe this last clip on this aerial video that I did, in my opinion, I thought it was a little bit fast after a particular point. So I liked it at the beginning right here. So let me hit pause. So right about there is when I would like to start slow down the clip. So actually we'll just hold down B and cut it right there. And then right here, we'll speed ramp actually. Hold on, let's not cut here. Let's see. Actually, yeah, I should be able to. We'll see how it looks. I think I did some keyframing on this, so it might mess up. That's why I was thinking, I was like, it might mess up my shot, but let's see what it does. So if we speed ramp to 0, because we want to slow it down. Let's see if the transition from my cut, so the cut transition is not so smooth here. All right, that's all right. What I'll do is we'll speed ramp to 0. So now it basically took the entire clip, but right here what I'm going to do is just put that back to normal at 100%. All right, so let's see here. So then we transition here. We're still normal, and now it starts to slow down. It probably slows down too fast. Let me make this one normal and we'll do custom. So you can fine tune all this. Obviously, you want it to gradually go slower. That's kind of the purpose of speed ramping, so it's not like a drastic slowdown. It actually doesn't look bad. I think it starts to get boring a little bit after a few seconds here. Let me watch it again. So right here we could probably, honestly, could we go faster here? Let's make this entry part a little bit faster. 125. And then we'll go to normal, and then we'll slow it down to 60. Let's see how that looks. So a little bit faster, slow, slow. And a little bit as it trails off. I think that's pretty good. As it trails off to 60%, I think you can see the frames a little bit. It starts to look a little bit choppy because, you know, we shot in 30 frames per second. Our project's in 24 frames. So whenever we slow it down to 60%, our frames are actually going to be less than 24 frames per second. So to fix that, we'll just go over here to rate conform over here. So this is just going to be on the little film strip icon, and then you'll come to the bottom and click on optical flow. And then give it a second. It'll render, or basically it'll analyze the footage and create additional frames to make it flow nicely, and then it'll smooth out your shots. Now if you have, say you shot in 30 frames per second and you slow it down, and now it's at 5 frames per second, and now you're doing optical flow and it's having to try to create a whole bunch of different frames to kind of make up for it, in that case you're not going to have a very good result. It usually only works till about half. So if you're shooting 24 frames, you can slow it down to 12, and you know that even then is kind of pushing it, but you can still get a pretty good result. But now this should be pretty smooth, so we start there. Actually, I would say that this is still a little bit fast. Let me slow this down here. Maybe 110. It was a little bit slow, but not. Now slowly going back. Boom. And even if you want it to ramp down slower here, it's easy to adjust. Say we want it at 40. And you'll probably would want optical flow to do its thing again. You can see it's going to have to re-render a bit. So at 40%, you know, we shot it, you know, that's right around 50% of the frame rate of what we shot to our project, I want to say. Because we shot in 30, this is 24. Does it look pretty smooth? It looks pretty smooth to me. I think it's, yeah, I don't know if it completely rendered out. It does look like it did, but let me just see. Yeah, it looks pretty good. If anything, it's a little long. I'd shorten it a little bit. Just cut right to there. So anyways, I just wanted to demonstrate how to blade speed. Blade speeding is pretty simple. I like to just click on custom and adjust the speed as we go if it's too fast or too slow. You can also change it if you wanted a certain duration. So if you wanted the blade speed, so right here it's at 2 seconds. 2 seconds and 18 frames. Say we wanted to change it. So we just wanted that to last 1 second, 0 frames. Press enter, and that's what it'll change that. Let's see here. So let's go here and look at the custom. Yeah, we did blade speed here. All right, so I mean that's pretty straightforward. I feel like that's a good starting point in knowing how to blade speed and how to speed ramp your footage where you need to. I think these are two tools that can really bring your videos or take your videos to the next level if you're currently not using them. But obviously you want to do them appropriately. You want to make sure you have a good enough time before and after your blade speeds so it's not too jarring for the viewer. All right, guys, well, that's a quick tutorial on how to blade speed and use speed ramping in your property videos. If you guys have any additional questions, feel free to reach out. We'll see you guys on the next one.